Welcome to the February edition of Introspection with Adeyinka. By popular demand this month, we will be looking into the concept of relationships. So here's what we already know, that technology and social media has changed the way we do relationships. And suddenly we're beginning to ask ourselves questions like, what does it really mean to be human again? How do we find meaning and purpose in interpersonal relationships? This month, we'll be looking at some of these interesting conversations at different levels of analysis. So, for instance, we're going to be looking at romantic relationships, and we're going to be looking at family, work, and so on. But more importantly, also, is that this month, I will be touching on some interesting dynamics of relationships and how these things work together, how to deal with them, and as you know, I will always give hints on reflective questions and models that can help our reflections and conversations as we talk together on this subject. So welcome, and I'll see you soon. That's the Lebu. First time featuring on this vlog.
No, I'm not going to be. Better don't post.
You are featuring. No, I'm not going to feature you. I think it's more impactful if it's coming from a man and woman perspective as well from me just talking. So you and I will sit down together, have a sit down together and chat about toxic relationships and relationships in general. So you guys need to watch out. This is the sneak peek for February, folks. You don't want to miss out on that, do you? Yes. Oh, yeah. So welcome back, guys. Relationships. What's happening with our current world? I would like to begin our journey this month by sharing something that I think is a model that I've found pretty useful in my life so far. And it's coming from a place of a few assumptions. That number one, no matter how successful we are in life, we always will have to point to the role several other people played in our lives to help us get there. Even in instances where people say I was in an abusive or toxic relationship, sometimes I've heard about how those toxic and abusive relationships have helped people discover purpose and, most importantly, discover themselves. So in all of this, I've come to appreciate the role relationships play in our journeys in life. You know, the other day I was having a quick look back at some of the most profound things that have happened in my life and looking at the people that God used to help me achieve those things. And it helped me reflect carefully, and I came up with a model, and I call the model the RPIT model, RPIT model. Now, the RPIT model is simply a short form of what I call right people, right information at the right time. So when you have the right people in your fold, it will result to two things. You will have the right information at the right time. And you think about it, you say, hang on a second. Does this therefore mean that having the right people producing the right information at the right time is like a secret spice recipe for success? I believe it is. And I'm going to give you an example. So some of the most profound enterprises we have in our world today came out as a result of this secret formula. Right people resulted in right information at the right time. Let's take a case in point, Beats by Dr. Dre, or Beats by Dre, as we will have it. Dr. Dre was really thinking about starting a sneaker company. He wanted to make shoes. He was taking a jog down the beach someday. He found his mentor. Upon having a conversation with his mentor said, well, you know what? Don't do sneakers, do speakers. And then he went away. And that was it, really. Don't do sneakers, do speakers. The right people, his mentor, the right information at the right time. He got the right information, speakers, not sneakers, at the right time when it was just about to start. And that gave birth to that multi-billion-dollar enterprise that was recently purchased by Apple. So you see, folks, that this thing really does work, that we need the right people in our lives. But then here comes the vital question. How do we define the right people? Here's what I'm going to say to you in that regard. Understand the season of life you're in and realize that you don't need everybody on a journey with you. You can be friendly, but you don't necessarily have to be core friends with everybody. Fellowship is commanded. Relationship is a choice. We are all commanded to fellowship with one another, but the choice of going into deep relationships with people lies on us. So here's what I'll say to you. Along the lines of the RPIT model, we need to first think, what season am I in at the moment? The second thing is, what do I need help with? And who is there to help me? Who can provide me information? Third thing is, Who can give me the right support that I need along this journey? Remember, you are in a season, and the season determines the kind of need you should have, and therefore that determines the kind of people you should have within your space. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the start of the repeat model. I promise you, as I said earlier, that we're going to be looking at the concept of relationship from a multi-level analysis. And as we go into this conversation next week, we're going to go into some really crunchy and deeper stuff. And I think I might have a few surprises up my sleeves for you this month. So thanks for watching this episode, and I hope I see you next time. Take care.